Let me fix that. I was just demonstrating lifting something wrong, okay? Let me show you how to lift it right. Maybe I'll redo how to do it wrong, okay? So if you bend over like this and then lift something, that's wrong, even though you can see this is paper towels, so they're very light, but that's not the right way to get something. You need to bend your knees, have your back straight, and you need to lift and stand, okay? All right, let's turn back around. All right, well, welcome to 4th grade health. You may have noticed my Houdini trick. I realized that I had history up still, so I paused you and I got health written up there. But you do have a health quiz 2 to take, and so that one is for lesson 135. So this is lessons 135 and 136. I'm going to combine them. But first of all, you can pause and take the quiz. And then when you come back, we will get into our lesson. All right, so bending carefully, lifting correctly, those things are important, as you saw my little silly demonstration. Bending correctly, you want to make sure that your back is straight. If you're sitting on the floor playing a game, and you're leaning over to move your piece on the board, you want to lean, for your hip joints to rotate. So you want to bend forward like this, okay? Instead of having your back bend. So your back needs to stay straight, and your hips need to move you, okay? This is important if you're in the garden working, or if you're vacuuming, so don't slump. And this helps because if you have poor posture, you can actually hurt your back, or it makes you more tired easily. Lifting correctly, whenever you lift an object, instead of bending over from the waist, keep your back straight and bend your knees. They always say lift with your knees, not with your back, okay? And just as that reminder, the Healthful Habits for Good Posture on page 19 says head up, shoulders back, back straight, abdomen in, toes forward. And that's just some things to remember when you're looking at your posture, okay? That tug of war at the top, hopefully when we come back, when we can meet together again, we can do that with the school and get some fun with that. All right, so that is the end of chapter 1. We are going to get started with chapter 2. This is what we're looking at, the muscle builder. So now we're looking at muscles. All of your movements are made by muscles. God designed your body with over 600 muscles. Some of those muscles are our skeletal muscles. Those are ones that are connected to the skeleton, the bones that make up our framework. Some of them are facial muscles, and they help us smile. They help us make these facial expressions that you don't really know what you're talking about or thinking. Maybe something is really sour, and that comes across on your face, and that's your muscles working. The frontalis is the muscle that's in your forehead. It's like your frontal lobe of your brain. You've got your frontalis muscles that are there. The muscles down here are your masseter muscles. So those are part of your facial muscles. Then we move on to muscles in other, like your shoulders and your legs. The trapezius is the muscle behind your shoulder blade. And so that one, it helps you be able to lift your arm up and down and you can arch your back and like push your shoulders back, and that's that muscle working. You've got biceps, which are on the top of your arm, triceps, which are on the bottom of your arm. You've got your deltoid, which is right here in your shoulder, and your pectoralis, or your pectorals, those are over your breast right here, or your chest, depending, never mind. Then we have abdominal muscles, and those are important for breathing, for exercise, everything right there. Just even for bending, your abdominal muscles are those that are right below and around, in and around your rib cage. You've got quadriceps that are part of your upper leg. As you raise and straighten your lower leg, you can feel your quadriceps in your upper leg, okay? The hamstrings are the muscles in the back of your thigh, your upper leg. Hamstrings are most often the one that gets injured in football. They usually have a hamstring injury. It's because it gets overextended and it's not fun. You also have tendons that are white fibers or cords that help your body work, and they help your let's see, the bones. They connect your muscles to your bones. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. So tendons connect the muscles to the bones so that those muscles can be used by our body, because if it wasn't connected properly, it would just hang limp. And so that would not help us. Most of skeletal muscles work in pairs. So each movement involves two muscles, and one of them will tighten while the other one contracts. And that's what our biceps and our triceps do. So if you hold your arm up here, your bicep is contracting, getting bigger. Your tricep is relaxing, but when you go down, you can feel the difference. Your biceps relax and your triceps contract, okay? So you see that each muscle always does its work by pulling, it never pushes. And so that's another thing to keep in mind, that it pulls. So the muscle which bends your arm cannot straighten it, okay? So only one muscle can bend it, but when I put it back out to straighten it, it's a different muscle that's working, okay? That's why it can't push. And you'll read how that works in the rest of that on holding the glass of milk. And then your nerves work too, and your nerves carry messages to your brain and the spinal cord. Other nerves called motor nerves, so that's some of the nerves. Motor nerves carry messages from your brain and spinal cord to your muscles. When a nerve is damaged, it takes time for it to repair itself. So sometimes with an injury, the muscle that it serves may be paralyzed or unable to move because your brain cannot send a message to the muscle telling it to contract. If the motor dies, the paralysis will be permanent because a nerve can never be replaced. It can be repaired, but if it dies, it can't be replaced. So that's the technical way of how someone becomes paralyzed, or partially or otherwise. Skeletal muscles move when you want them to. They are sometimes called voluntary muscles. So these ones are ones that you basically have to tell them to move. Like, I talk with my hands all the time. And so my brain is saying, move your hands because you're wanting to get this point across, and so just move your hands. That's how my brain works. But some people don't have that. They can talk and their hands can be just down at their side and they can talk like this, and it doesn't always work for me. So anyway, that's what we are looking at today. So I want you to make sure to do anatomy worksheet number 2. And this quick check, there's 7 questions that follows on to the next column. So 7 questions, answer that on a piece of paper, and make sure that you have taken that quiz. And you should have answered, yes, we should have done all of the chapter checkup for chapter 1. So we are moving right along with chapter 2, and we will see you next time.